Take me as I am. Take my life. I would give it all. I would sacrifice. Don't tell me it's not worth fighting for. I can't help it. There's nothing I want more. You know it's true. Everything I do it for you. There's no love. Oh yeah. You can't tell me it's not worth trying for. I can't help it. There's nothing I want more. Yeah, I would fight for you. I'd lie for you. Walk the world for you. Yeah, I'd die for you. You know it's true. Everything I do. Ooh, stop. Try to kick and spin it. Yeah, yeah. Your head will collapse if there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? 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 In the water, see it swimming. I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind the rock. Except the little fish bumped into me, swear he's trying to talk to me. Say wait, wait, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Way out in the water, see it swimming. I was swimming in the Caribbean. Animals were hiding behind the rock. Except the little fish bump into me, swear he's trying to talk to me. Say wait, wait, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is? Way out in the water, see it swimming. Feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it, yeah. Your head will collapse if there's nothing in it, and you'll ask yourself, where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is my mind? Where is? Way out in the water, see it swimming. With your feet on the air and your head on the ground. Try this trick and spin it, yeah. the eyes of a cat in the black and blue. Something is coming for you. Look out! Race for the morning. You can hide in the sun till you see the light. Oh, we will pray it's alright. Gotta get away, get away. Between the velvet lights, there's a truth that
I never kill myself to save my soul. I was gone, but how was I to know?
I didn't come this far to sink so low. I'm finally holding on to letting go.
Letting go myself to save my soul.
I'm finally holding on to letting go.
I didn't come this far to sink so low.
I'm finally holding on to letting go. I'm just weathering a rough patch. Another villain with an itch to scratch. Denial is the darkest when you live in a hole. Why does the hell make you feel so cold? Make a move and you pay for it. Pick a lord and you pray to it. You're so demanding when you want the truth, but your stories don't read for me. I'll never kill myself to save my soul. I was gone, but how was I to know? I didn't come this far to sink so low. I'm finally holding on to letting go. Indecision overload. Keep a buckle on the devil and your eyes on the road. Reaching out for the hand of God, but did you think you'd shake your own? This killing field is all grown over. The motherfucker wants it wild. Go sow your oats in alphabetical order. The anti-antagonist is back in style. Myopic, cannot see straight. Dystopic, one sin too late. You gotta lie if you wanna believe, but your Bibles don't work on me. I'll never kill myself to save my soul. I was gone, but how was I to know? I didn't come this far to sink so low. I'm finally holding on to letting go. Did you think you could win and fill me in? Did you think you could do it again? I'm not your sin. I was all that you wanted and more, but you didn't want me. I was more than you thought I could be. So I'm setting you free, I'm setting you free. You've killed the saint in me. How dare you martyr me? You've killed the saint in me. Oh, I'll never kill myself to save my soul. Oh, I was gone, but how was I to know? Oh, I didn't come this far to sink so low. Oh, I'm finally holding on to letting go. You've killed the saint in me. How dare you martyr me? You've killed the saint in me. How dare you martyr me?
Welcome, my friends, to Xbox Era. If you're new here, let me fill you in. Xbox Era is a platform for the Xbox community with best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and of course, XboxEra.com, your destination for the best news, reviews, and features, all focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. It's every Xbox fan's gateway to the best of Xbox Era. Our incredible podcasts listened to in over 50 countries worldwide, our in-depth reviews, our own merch store for the coolest in gaming threads, and of course Day One, where you can track, rate and discuss your favourite games on Xbox Game Pass. We're a small, agile and independent publication, and importantly, we're completely funded by you. If you value having a publication truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. Xbox Era is only made possible by the support of an amazing community, and in particular our legendary and growing army of Patreon supporters. Our executive producers, Top, The Scarecrow 121, Peter B, Not Jack, Mohammed Sherez, Kevin S, Korkenstein, Jordan White, Jordan Andow, Frankie C, Terran H, and Britt. Our amazingly generous grand benefactors who take their support and dedication to Xbox Era to another level. Krat56, an assassin. And then there's our boss, our leader, our shining light in times of darkness, the one and only Xbox Era CEO, Torn Raptor. You guys are all fucking awesome. If you enjoy the content Xbox Era produce and want more of it, and you're not a patron, consider heading over to patreon.com/Xbox Era, pledge your support, and get cool swag in return. Hello, friends, and welcome to Xbox Era Headlines. It's me, Jon, with Jesse, and we're going to talk through some gaming news across the industry. We don't just focus on Xbox for headlines because, you know, as much as Microsoft dominate the news cycle, we've got to give all these other things a time in the sun. So we're going to talk about a little bit of everything today. But if you didn't know, as a bonus for our wonderful patrons, we make audio versions of these episodes available for them to listen to in the Patreon app. But if you're on Spotify, you can link your account to listen to it there instead. Hi, Jesse. How are you?
Good.
Yeah,
I am solid. We are in the shit, so to speak.
we are plowing through.
Yeah.
It's a morning and a week so far.
Well, I mean, it's been a month so far. It never stopped. Like a couple days off. I worked Christmas and New Year's for funsies, and ever since then, it's just been go, go, go. So, and it's not slowing down. Like we know when we either have ideas or know when more is coming and more to do, but it also we're keeping ahead of everything. The only one I worry about is Ursel. Is he going to have Citizen Sleeper 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and Civ 7?
I've been watching the Ursel situation with growing concern. No, he'll manage it. I believe.
We'll see.
I have faith.
But you got
it's
your
not like
lonely.
He's never missed an embargo before, right? Right.
You got your Lonely Mountains done. That one's up live. We'll talk about that in a bit. I've got 2 done, 1 ready to write and be done, 1 preview done, another preview to do. No more stuff's coming in, and it's a lot of fun. People look at it like, oh my god, how do you do so much? And it's like, well, when it is full-time work and it's fun.
I'm so surprised at how few reviews of Lonely Mountains there actually are out there today, considering the first game was utterly brilliant.
I know.
And the second game's no slouch either. But again, we'll get into it in a sec. But yeah, like we've got, this is the week, right? This is the week. Everyone's kind of in waiting mode a little bit. I have learned over the last 24 hours about how much of modern life is dictated to by one of these.
Yep. Because
mine is fucked. Like I can't, this is where the keyboard would normally appear, and it's dead. It got a dink. So I'm, instead of rushing out and buying something else, I did have a look, but the next one up from this phone, which was this year's phone or last year's phone, they're all out of stock because tomorrow night at 6 p.m. my time, they're revealing this year's phone. So I figured I can just suffer for like 48 to 72 hours and then see what's rocking and rolling. But man, watching Slow Horses with the missus, you know, and all the normal things I would do, like I'm going to Google who this actress is and find out what she's been in before. All the normal human things that we do in the 21st century. Suddenly, I am incapable, and it's very disconcerting. But I'll live. We'll see what Samsung have for me in a couple of days. There's been plenty of news bubbling away this week. And
I
we're
had
only
to
on
delete
Tuesday.
a few things because there was just so much.
There's too much. But yes, we'll start off with Xbox Game Pass. They swung out a large, hefty load all over the gamers expectantly waiting. Is this? I mean, I've taken it down a dark path, haven't I? They released their Game Pass Wave 2 drop. It's got it's got 9 games coming to the service. I think 5, keep me honest.
Technically
5.
8 new, 1
Yeah.
port with Starbound coming from PC and being on console.
Yes.
And then a handful, 5 things being added to the standard tier. So 14 things on the graphic, but you know.
Yeah, some websites would just say, "Oh, it's 14 brand new things added."
And then they get mad at me when I joke about it with them.
They'd be wrong.
So if you look, you got Sniper Elite Resistance, Lonely Mountain Snow Riders, Orcs Must Die Death Trap, which we've known was coming to Game Pass for a week, but didn't leak because we're not shitheads. Citizen Sleeper 2, Starward Vector, and Eternal Strands. They're all day 1 launches being reviewed by us. We've got reviews for every single one of them, which is going to be neat. Yeah. I finished up Sniper Elite Resistance's review yesterday. You finished up Lonely Mountains yesterday and went live today. I'm just about to do Orcs Must Die Death Traps, Ursel, better do Citizen Sleeper 2s, and Eternal Strands has actually been done for a week because they gave that game to me. They gave
you plenty of time.
They gave that game to me before 2024 ended. Just before. Which is kind of crazy.
I've had a little go on that, but we'll talk about that when we're allowed to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's I can briefly talk about the one that has dropped today in terms of release, which is Lonely Mountain Snow Riders. If you guys know me or if you've watched Xbox Era for a while, you may know that the first game, Lonely Mountains Downhill, was my game of the year, I think like in 2019 or whenever it released. Might have been 2020. I can't remember. It was a while ago. I absolutely love Lonely Mountains Downhill. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, a Lonely Mountain sequel. Then I saw it was skiing. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of skiing. Like, I've got no interest in winter sports. I've got no interest in sports, arguably.
Yeah, but video game versions are always different.
Indeed. And the 2 concerns I had were, oh no, it's
that
skiing.
New intro does not look good.
You don't like it?
No, it's all blown out. If you go back and look, like it's all messed up. Where is it?
Now you've upset me. You've stopped me in my flow.
In the actual video, it's okay, but for some reason, when I'm capturing it here, it's all blown out. But when I'm looking at the actual video, it's okay.
Yeah, the video should be fine.
But also, I would like to have the actual full version of this for reviews. It's very nice.
Yeah, I thought I'd just try it out. What do people think of our new little intro? It's got a nice little
go back.
Bing boom bing. Wow.
I might actually keep the sound on that one, unlike the last one you did.
Yes, it's less offensive.
I never once played that music ever. I cut it out every time.
Same after the first time, but Ursel uses it every time.
Oh god!
But Snow Riders, the big concern I had was that in order for skiing game to work, you're going to have to cover all of the lovely nature and art of the levels in snow, because otherwise, like, kind of can't.
What if you make the snow absolutely gorgeous?
And they did. It's really good. Great deformation as you plow on through it. The sound effects. So in case people didn't know, Lonely Mountains has never had a soundtrack. So when you're on it, you feel that loneliness. Like, turn the volume up and you'll hear all the crunching of the snow and like rocks and wildlife and just wind. And it's quite constant. It's very zen. And indeed, they've got a zen mode where you can just explore mountains at your own pace. It's not so much a hardcore sports game as it is a really good puzzle game, and I'd say it has more in keeping with something like Trials, if you were a fan of those back in the day, than anything else. But it's a mixture of get down the hill as quick as you can, hit the checkpoints, get the fastest times. You've got a bunch of different skis that do different things to unlock. Incredibly addictive stuff. But the icing on the cake here was that they added 8-player multiplayer, and I can assure you, racing down the snowy slopes with 8 buddies is a fucking blast. I had a really good time doing this. There are a few hiccups at launch that won't affect the Steam version, but will affect the Xbox version. I had a quick chat with the devs because they very kindly, because I had 2 codes and I was like, I need more if I actually going to get some good multiplayer footage of like 8 of us going down the slopes. And the devs, absolute legends, they dropped me through some Steam codes and sorted me out. But one thing we found was that when you're all bunched up together, there were these kind of weird latency drops where you would suddenly like be teleported. And when you're trying to do precision skiing down complicated slopes, not the best scenario to be in. But I did point this out to them, and they kindly advised me they've already identified it. It wasn't there, and then it was there like a week ago, and they found the bug and they've patched it. So I think it's fixed on Steam. But as with consoles, certification has to do its thing. So there'll be a little delay while it goes through cert before that patch.
I cannot imagine how busy certification is now for Xbox and PC or PlayStation.
Madness out there, right?
Yeah.
Too many games, says I. Too many games. But go check out Snow Riders, folks. I want to see the Xbox Era community jumping on this and getting some social lobbies together. Jesse and I will probably do a Hangouts because it will be a laugh, and we'll invite some of the community along at some point when we've got a free moment in the next week and a half, maybe.
Wednesday evening would be about the only time.
Okay, maybe we can do it then. But yeah, go check it out. It's great. We'll have reviews for the other day one drops as and when they arrive. But be sure to watch the video, click the link, all of that jazz helps us out.
It was a big old drop on the table because I had a video ready of 5 things with room for 1 or 2 more. Then they also added in Far Cry New Dawn on February 4th. Gigantic Rampage Edition hits tomorrow. Shady Part of Me hits in a week. I think Starbound comes to console and cloud tomorrow because I think it was already on PC. And they did it's funny. There's actually 3 Xbox only for consoles games there. Lonely Mountain, Snow Riders, Orcs Must Die, Death Trap, and Starbound are only on Xbox right now. And then you could be fooled if you're Insider Gaming with the 5 standard edition add-ins, which are Flock, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, Magical Delicacy, Chia, and Case of the Golden Idol, which we also reviewed every single one of. Those were almost all July ads. So if you're trying to figure out when do they come to standard, those mostly came in July, I believe, of last year.
Yeah. And dear patrons, just a heads up, you guys make this possible. Like if you're looking at all the big sites going, well, where's their Lonely Mountains review, or where's their Orcs Must Die review? They're not supported by you guys. So, I can understand why they haven't done it. But we will, because we love you. So thank you.
And we have
if you want to become
a
hero, head to patreon.com/Xbox Era.
Oh, I didn't put the pinned note. There we go. Yeah, that is an excellent drop, and we're covering everything that's new in it. All the day ones. Super chat.
I swear people just like me dragging on this game. Dexter H drops through a super chat and says, how did John have time to review a game when all he does is play multiverses? Yeah. If by playing multiverses, you mean sticking a rusty nail down my... I don't like multiverses, all right? It's not a good game in my humble opinion. But opinions are like...
Awesome. You say that line too much, you ruined it.
Yeah, I considered stopping because, swearing, it's pre-watershed. Don't want to be doing all that,
It's like 8 minutes, so we're good.
Yeah, be fine. But there you go, Game Pass. I think they more than made up for what was perceived as a weak drop a little while ago, right? So there's some chunky new games there for us to go and enjoy. So dive in, jump on the skis, have some fun,
and do it soon because it doesn't stop. Like next month, March, April, May, they're just gonna keep friggin' going. We'll do our best to keep up. Hello, Mott.
There's so much exciting things like that we're not even talking about yet that we can't wait to talk about.
I don't tease anything. Stop teasing. I hate teases. Insider culture sucks.
I'm not being an insider.
And as Camilla says, throw shit on them.
Yeah, he went on a big rant about the Switch 2 leaks, didn't he? What a lovely man. But we're all insects, apparently. So what do we know? Next up in news, this actually happened kind of like Friday last week.
And there's also one thing that happened today, potentially, supposedly.
I'm paying attention. Yes, Sony cancelled more PlayStation Live service projects as they backed away from their Jim Ryan's legacy. Can we call it that? Bend and Bluepoint were working on we had Bluepoint working on is it God of War MMO?
No, God of War live service game.
Live service game. Okay, whatever. And Bend Bend was working on.
A milsim live service game. So it had kind of leaked before, where it was like a military simulation focused live
Like
service type of
SOCOM
thing,
or something.
like a milsim, like soldiers shooting things, mainly each other.
Fair.
Yeah.
Um,
But the
but
new
yeah,
one,
they're gone. And now the new rumor is, of course, that they have also cancelled. And I don't believe this could be true because Herman Hulst would not allow it. The Horizon MMO. That's probably where.
yeah.
MMO
So there were
is.
2 Horizon live service games. One at Gorilla, which is super cartoony and kind of looks like Pal World. It is a survival crafting hit trees thing from the leak. And the other one was an NC Soft Korean developer publisher doing a straight up Horizon MMO, and now the rumor is that that has been canceled. So,
God. Now, I think the reaction to all of this is that quite naturally you would look at this and think, "Cool, first party." And I want you to just cast your minds back when we've had studio closures or game cancellations. Cast your minds back to Scalebound and the uproar that single game that was cancelled caused. These are projects that we've not even seen, right? And they've been cancelled. Now, that's normal and that happens all the time. But if you look at the bigger picture of what Sony's number of studios, the number of projects that have now been cancelled within the last sort of 2 to 3 years, I think we're talking something like 9 or 11 projects.
I think this would make it 12.
This is insane. So to say the following, that Sony's first party is in a bit of a mess, would be fair, I think.
Mhm.
The context here is that it's perhaps not in a mess in that, the
platform won't
badly managed.
Yeah, the platform won't disappear, but the mess is that they've now
got extra
probably
years of waiting before anything
a
new
lot
can
of
come out from any of these studios.
you probably go an entire generation without seeing a single game from Bend. Naughty
That's
Dog wasted
crazy.
so much time on like the amount of time and money wasted. Because Sony's main thing was they make $1 trillion off of third parties and free to play and all that stuff. And then they wasted so much of it on their first party, which is not what brings people in nearly as much as the free to play, the gacha, the third party stuff. They are the default platform for the casual. That is where they make their money and sell most of their consoles. So wasting so much time and money on first party stuff that was never going to probably even equal what a game like Fortnite can do all combined. It's really bad management to have that much head start, that much leeway, and just completely ruin
Burn it
most
all.
of it. Also, people are going to say this
So-
looks terrible. This is extremely early. Nothing polished, just gameplay concepts and figuring stuff out. This is the Guerrilla. This leaked a long time ago. The Guerrilla MMO or Guerrilla Online Horizon stuff. When it's super
this is
early,
like
they don't
gamers
polish it.
reacting to super early dev footage. This looks terrible. Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the leaked footage that makes it appear to be a straight up survival game. But
Yeah.
it was, even with the concept art and everything, it is going for a more cartoony style, which I think works and makes sense in multiplayer so that you can have way more IP crossovers, because that's what you really need.
I'm so surprised, and Hughes just brought it up in chat. How is Fair Game still alive? Like, and I don't mean that as a diss, but I'm sensing that project's going to go the same way as Concord. But I also want Jade Redmond
To get
to
away,
like
yeah,
actually
and
just
the
be
whole
able to
team,
ship
and yeah,
something.
Well,
Like it's rough out there. It's rough out there. But yeah, I think it's a fair comment to say Sony's first party network is in a bit of a state. So what do I expect from Sony? I expect more doubling down on
live
paying
service.
for exclusivity. But they're going to have a harder time now because all the other studios that they would normally make these kinds of arrangements with are backing away from these kinds of deals because the whole industry is kind of contracting in that regard. And at the end of the day, yeah, you might be the market leader, but we found that releasing on less places makes us less money.
And I know people
So-
are like, I was talking to Mr. Badbit, or just replying to him. He's like, well, thankfully they're moving away from this live service push. I'm like, no, they're not. They're canceling the ones they don't think will work and desperately trying to find ones that will. Because as we've
still
said,
got Fair Games, Marathon.
a lot of their upcoming slate was still that. They've got the Horizon online multiplayer, Fair Games, Marathon. Like they've canceled most of them, but that doesn't mean they automatically just turn around and say, all right, make single player now. Like they still want and need a multiplayer game to truly take off, because as good as Helldivers did really good for that launch period and is doing okay now. They want something that just makes buco bucks for a decade, not it pays for itself. It needs to pay for other stuff.
And the problem that they also have now is that these studios now have to kind of, whoa, okay, right, quick, we got to pitch something else, and that takes time. You've got to find the right project for the right team. You've got to get the sign off. You've got to get the budget approved. What are we going to go and make?
Oh, and Marathon, yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see smaller projects from these teams to get them out a little bit faster, rather than the typical Sony behemoths.
A lot of them are also,
thing.
they're really big teams. So bigger projects like don't always make the most sense. They need something that's going to pay for itself. It's really rough. So like what they're working on is MLB The Show, which is live service. Marathon is live service. Fair Games is live service. The Horizon online thing is live service. Like they're not going to then shift back to focusing on first party, third person, single player titles with DLC. Like even Spider-Man 2 didn't get DLC. And then they canceled the friggin' Great Web Spider-Man multiplayer game. Who knows how long that was? Like, one of the tougher things is you never know until these latest ones. Generally, you don't know how far along they are. And we're finding more and more that, some of these were the only project they were working on for years. And then it's all gone. And Concord was years and years. And when you do that much work and then it doesn't come out, or it does come out, and then you completely pull it back, like pulling Concord out back like that was just crazy. It was crazy at the time, and it's even crazier to look at now, because you will never make a penny on that. And then you just friggin' a year and a half after buying them, you shut them down. It's like the worst case scenario and the worst way to react to any of it. As much shit as people give Ubisoft and Microsoft, they generally don't do that. They don't immediately tank something and just cut it away. They will support it and try and build it back up into something. Even with Redfall, they gave it time. They tried.
That's a good example as well. Redfall was a live service game. You can see it in its foundations.
They let them shift and try to make it not that, and it didn't do well.
In some ways, that hurt it.
And they gave it time to try and fix it up and make it into a much better product than it was by the time it was gone, getting the offline mode, all that. And even then, that was the one time it still led to people getting fired. So that just sucks.
There is some there was some drama as well, because we had the Bloomberg report from Jason Schreier. I think the lovely man that is Jeff Grubb said something about the studios didn't even know. And then Jeff Schreier
Jason Schreier. You made
Jason Schreier, Jeff Schreier. What a weird combo.
Jason Schreier came out with the clarification where he was correct, where Jeff then came back late last night.
Said, he apologized.
It's like he was off the cuff trying to remember what he had been told. And it was more that it wasn't that they didn't know before it went public. It was that they were still processing it. And in his head, it just came out wrong while he was talking about it. So they did know. They did know before. Like, it was announced and Schreier found out the next day. It was announced internally.
Yeah. It is, I don't know. I feel like from a relationship standpoint, rather than just going out and replying to all of the tweets and the news sites reporting on what Jeff Grubb said, ping Jeff a message and just be like, yo, dude, this is incorrect. I have it on good authority for these reasons. And then give Jeff a chance rather than just tweeting out, hey, he's wrong. Look at me, I'm right. Just chill out, Jason. It's okay.
It's a technically correct
you're
thing.
good at this. You know?
I'm technically
there could
correct.
Be some politeness there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's
next
rough.
up.
It is rough out
there.
I'm hoping people don't get fired, but you never know.
Yeah. This is probably the biggest news item on here, really, and that is Team Cherry finally broke radio silence. This is via Tom Ivan over at Video Games Chronicle with regards to Hollow Knight Silksong. What's happening? What's happening? Tell us. Why isn't it here yet? Matthew Griffin, who handles the PR and marketing for the title, responded on X to
Just
say,
say Twitter.
yes, the game is real, it's progressing, and it will release. And that's it. That's the update. All the news sites leaped on that one. Woo!
Does it fix it?
Let's go.
Okay, I had to force SDR in my display capture, I think. Yep, now it works. Now that's why I did the blowout thing. There we go.
Ah, there you go. But yeah, Hollow Knight Silksong. Maybe it'll be this year. Maybe.
I wonder if there's still 3 guys.
Maybe. I don't know.
It has to be this year. It would be crazy if it's not, and watch it not be. But I hope
yeah,
it
well,
is.
the last update that we had on this was in May of 2023 when they confirmed it was delayed. And Matthew Griffin had said, we had planned to release in the first half of 2023, but development is still continuing. We're excited by how the game is shaping up. It's gotten quite big. So we want to take the time to make the game as good as we can. So
The original Hollow Knight Voidheart Edition had a lot of bosses in it, and the DLC, if you include it all, it's a lot. It's a big game.
yeah,
So not shocking
So-
that they'd fall into that again.
it looks like it is still coming, Silksong fans.
Mhm.
So don't worry. Don't worry. Next up, this is a funny one to me. A single analyst apparently says there is hope that Grand Theft Auto 6 will cost as much as $100 and it could be a turning point for the industry. This is written via Jordan Midler over at VGC. Matthew Ball of Epilion, I think, has released his State of Video Gaming in 2025 report, which muses on how the video game industry could change in the forthcoming year. And one large focus of that report is Grand Theft Auto 6. According to Matthew, there is hope within the video game industry that publisher Take-Two will use the unprecedented excitement around GTA 6 to fleece their customers. He didn't write this. He said to bump up the default price of the game to $100. It's believed that if Take-Two took this step with GTA 6, a game that will sell incredibly well regardless of the price, then others could follow suit and potentially aid in recovering spiraling development costs.
No,
I don't think that's going to work.
I don't think that's even a thought in their brains. I think they're going to have $100 early access edition, but they're going to
That's how
have it
you
at
do it.
70 bucks because it's, as Matt Piscatella was talking about, like Matt Piscatella was replying to this like it was completely insane because it is like you're trying to get everyone into that bucket, especially you're trying to pull them all into the GTA Online so they can spend money there. Like that initial cost is great, but if you outprice it, then you just kill your growth in other areas and all this shit. I could not see them actually trying to do that because it would be stupid and silly, and they don't have to because they can do a week early access for $100 and they will sell 15 million copies.
Yeah, $100. Like, the frustrating thing is, I don't think I'm even going to enjoy GTA 6 that much. But
You
I
will on PC because it will feel a lot. If it's 30 on
It's
console,
not coming
it's
to PC yet.
I know, but it will. I mean, it's 6 to 8 months later. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Take-Two, just getting all of that money. All that money.
It is their year between Civ 7, which just went gold, then Mafia: The Old Country, Borderlands 4, and GTA 6. Whenever that comes out, they will be making buco bucks for a while.
Yep. Fun times. Yeah, but $100, the rest of the industry hoping that they can do it too. Yeah, good luck.
No one. It would hurt GTA 6. It would kill everything else.
It's such a honestly. $100. I don't think I've ever spent $100 on a video game. Not even Halo. Not even a Halo special edition. Not that I recall. Anyways, speaking of crazy reporting with crazy ideas.
Reporting. Quote, quote.
Last week, a report was posted by a paywalled website called The Information that claimed that Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard hasn't resulted in the growth that the company expected with its Xbox business at this point. And there are a bunch of quotes in there from a portfolio manager, Danny Fish, saying that Activision has been disappointing and all of that jazz. The folks over at Insider Gaming reported on this, but then reached out to Microsoft for comment. And they've kind of just said, yeah, this is missing a lot of context and some of it's plain wrong. They've basically kind of quashed it a little bit. They've set new records for monthly active users, more players than ever. We're positioned for long-term growth. We've set a new Q1 record for total revenue and average revenue.
Just a bunch of the corporate response they can give with it not being a quarterly report from Satya, which we should be getting next week, I think. So
yeah.
It's pretty much people like, oh, they changed it to just saying it's lacking context. It's because the PR person who's got the lawyers in the area are saying exactly how you can go about saying all of this is poo-poo nonsense. The information, as far as I can tell, because it's $300 a month, is a paywalled blog site where people can blog their feelings, and then
$100 a month.
People $900 a year if you want to save.
Oh, sign me right up! I'm on my way.
Yeah, that's off my memory. I could be wrong, but it's a very expensive blog site where one guy wrote some things based on who knows what that don't make any sense, especially the timing, saying Satya was thinking of shutting it down in 2021 when they'd already spent billions. And no, I'm not going to shut it down. We'll spend another 70 billion. It's like none of it actually makes sense if you know the platform at all. But it was negative, so people jumped on it super hard, and we're very excited. But then all the PlayStation news came out, and it just went. It disappeared again, especially after Microsoft came out and said, no.
I put a link to the kind of writing and feedback that Mike Straw over at Insider Gaming managed to grab. You can go read that full detail
exclusive
there in the chat. If the Patreon, Abdul114, if the Patreon becomes $300, can Nick, if everyone in our current Patreon was paying $300 a month, yeah, we could make Nick a full-timer.
Yeah, and you guys, there's only one CEO slot, but you can give however much you want. So if you want to give like 500, feel free. You won't get a cool title or anything, but you would be that much closer to seeing Nick on all these shows. Because if Nick was a full-timer, he would have to get up at 3 a.m. to do this every Tuesday and Thursday, along with us.
Oh God, would we have him on headlines?
No, we wouldn't. That would be way too annoying.
This is my safe space.
This is the time you and I get to actually talk, unlike the podcast. Which, John, are we going to say it has a special guest again this weekend?
Yeah, I can confirm it right now because he replied to me while I was asleep. This weekend on the Xbox Zero podcast.
So happy.
We are being joined by the one and only Parris Lilly of Kind of Funny, Gamer Tag Radio, Cyberpunk Share Scandal fame. And
I'll say it again, especially when he's on. I got one of these, and my wife has 2 of the little Xbox ones. This was $1,700. Yeah, this was $1,700, and then my wife has $2,000 shares. No one cares.
No one's kicking my head in about this. And the funny thing about this is they sent it to me, and I said, hey, I've used it for a while. Can you send me some assets so I can write about it and stuff? And they never replied, and I chased them, and then I never got anything. So they basically just sent me a chair. No one's beating me up about it, so leave Parris Lilly alone. God damn it! And
he didn't have issues, but he had issues with our forum because he joined, and some dipshit immediately started attacking him over the chair, and so he left.
It was bad.
It was like he joined, and 10 minutes later, he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And he's like, "Well, your fucking cyberpunk chair. That's what's going." It's like, oh my god! Immediately banned the guy, but it was too late.
Yeah,
it was the opposite of Stinkles, where he joined and then he wanted to just shit talk, etc., which I understand, fully get, but we were trying to not have the forum just be that
drama.
Yeah, we still don't, but yeah. But hey, so yeah, it'll be post Phil being on with them. Yeah, not jealous at all.
No,
nope,
not bitter at all about that.
Nope.
Post Dev Direct, post their Phil Spencer interview, so Parris can probably share a bit or two, a little nugget or two.
Yeah, they're putting it right out. I think they're not waiting.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
that's cool. So yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. It's going to be basically a great week. And if you're an Xbox Zero Patreon subscriber, we have also got a lot of other lovely content planned throughout this week. So, why not head to patreon.com/Xbox Zero and support your favorite Xbox focused outlet, because, nobody else will.
It's funny. Every stream, I have this incredibly expensive, comfy chair. I have this Quest 3, the thing it's on. Even this copy of Balatro. Didn't pay for any of it. This
Yeah.
Redfall controller they bought my good review with. Right there.
I'm just looking at the chat here. More, can we ask questions about the chair in the Patreon? Yes, because I think Parris will find it funny. What else?
Yeah, we're
Big
gonna-
Night like dog. Love to see these chumps actually screw up to Parris in real life. I presume you're talking about the people on the forum that
Yes.
mocked the chair stuff.
People who
because
attack him over the chair.
we wouldn't square up to Parris because I've seen him in real life and he is a giant man.
Yeah,
and I am small. I'm wide.
I was pretty close to him in size, but he's muscle and I'm fat, so it's a big difference.
We are going to be doing our first official episode of Thanks, I Hate It at some point, hopefully this week with Nick.
We'll see.
There
might be
Patreon
scheduling
exclusive.
conflicts, but we will try.
Yeah, where we make Nick play Sea of Thieves because,
Poor Nick has to get up very early on the day before because he's doing Game Mess and then a little while later doing the Dev Direct with us. But we might have to ask him to get up early again the next day because of the way schedules are working.
Yeah. Print screen. Parris is very tall. Arguably everyone's very tall.
Yeah,
I'm a short king.
I'm about 6'1". He was roughly my height, maybe a little more.
Yeah,
he was maybe a little taller than me, inch or two.
Yeah, that way taller.
Yeah, sorry, Trev.
I'm a small person.
Only like once or twice, Trev.
That's fun. So looking forward to the weekend show as well. So it's gonna be good times. Next up in news, Poppy Playtime Studio sues Google for not pulling scam imitator apps from its store. Mob Entertainment says that fake Poppy Playtime games have been on the Google Play Store for months and Google have done nothing about it. So now they've sued them. This comes via Chris Scullion over at Video Games Chronicle. Its huge success of the episodic survival horror series has inevitably led to imitators appearing on various digital game stores. But according to series developer and publisher Mob Entertainment, there are 2 fake Poppy Playtime games in particular that it believes Google is failing to remove. Usually, if a game or app is released on a digital store which infringes on a copyright, that store's owner is protected by the DMCA safe harbor, which means they can't be held responsible for the infringement as long as they take it down when requested. So, makes sense to me. But according to the lawsuit that Mob Entertainment filed on Wednesday against both Google and the creator of these fake games, Mob Entertainment argues that Google forfeited the benefits of the DMCA safe harbor provision because they're still on the Google Play Store despite a takedown being filed on October 31st, 2024. Yeah, understandable. Like for all of Nintendo's, as an example, very, very stringent IP protection, this is straight up like you are stealing money out of the pocket of a small independent developer, right? It's their product. Take action. And this is the big problem when you've got these massive entertainment companies that have all the keys to the kingdom. So if they don't do anything, you can't do anything.
Yeah. That's one of the main problems with Google and Apple is like they are running stores, but, and I think it's as Epic and Microsoft have stated, they don't do nearly as much as Microsoft or Sony do to actually police their stores. They're just like, yep, we're getting 30% and take it or leave it. And also people who are on them really feel like they are not earning that 30% by actually providing a really good platform that helps its creators.
Yeah. In fact, Mob Entertainment actually alleges that Google receives 15 to 30% of the money made from these unauthorized sales in apps. And that because it has failed to take proper action, both the store, Google, and the developer Daigo Games 2020 are liable. They're seeking compensation for copyright and trademark infringement, statutory damages of $150,000 per work, as well as an injunction preventing Google and Daigo Game Studios from further infringements. So, yeah, let's see what happens on that one. I imagine Google will quickly remove them and settle because it's a pretty good case. I think the guys at Mob Entertainment have there.
Google also
watching a lot of
Google
suits.
don't care.
Yeah, well, they'll just pay their way out of it. They'll just sell. Next up, Call of Duty fans, Black Ops 6 and Warzone players on console will thankfully soon be able to disable crossplay in ranked. There's been over 136,000 ranked play bans that have been dished out across Black Ops 6 and Warzone, and Activision are now going to allow players to disable crossplay for that ranked improvement. So effectively, PC players are the ones that are cheating. Sorry.
Mhm.
Let's get them out of there, which is the right thing to do. Crossplay's great, but it can be really bad if
Yep.
you're a console player and you're going up against someone with a load of aimbots and other sorts of nightmare that can see you through walls. It's horrific.
Like aim assist really helps with the difference between a joystick and mouse and keyboard. But you can't fix cheating. Not that easy. I mean, you can, but that requires generally the kernel level cheats, and even then, people get around it by having their shit that's driven by a camera looking at the screen, so that you cannot tell that it's being done outside of registering people just being way too fast. But then you also will then get people who are super goddamn fast because they're young and good, and it's all they play all day whenever they're home from school, and so then they get caught up in a ban because they're really good and they get angry.
Yep.
So it's PC gaming is it is a mess.
There's been a lot of arguments for IP bans, but Activision have apparently said that isn't always a good solution because you end up sweeping innocent people that just happen to be on that range of IPs.
And
that's
you
not
can
fair.
just go unplug your router, plug it back in, and get a new IP.
Yeah. So it's not ideal. But you know, hopefully this will provide some improvements for folks that enjoy playing on console and they can get away from that kind of nonsense. Next up, Genshin Impact game developers will be banned from selling loot boxes to teens under 16 years of age without parental consent, and they're going to pay a $20 million fine to the FTC. So, yeah, the FTC
A couple
filed this
hours
complaint.
of money that they normally make.
Yeah, it's small fry. I think this is like the max they can charge, though,
Yep.
right? But the complaint was filed by the Department of Justice, and they took the Singapore-based Cognosphere PTE Limited and its California-based subsidiary, which do business in the United States as Hoyoverse. They say, hey, you actively market this game to kids and you collect personal information, and that's in violation of our child online privacy protection rules. So, yeah, they've been fined and they're not allowed to do that anymore. So that's a good thing. But I imagine a lot of those under 16s that were quite enjoying doing that are going to get annoyed by that.
It probably
what can
won't
you do?
change much, and also with the new administration, this kind of stuff is probably dead, and anything that happened will probably just be wiped away if you grease the right palms. This was Lena Khan's like last hurrah doing stuff, and now it'll go back to
Whatever.
being swept under the rug.
Time. If Microsoft had announced their Activision acquisition like today, probably would have sailed through.
There's a reason. There's a reason Satya Nadella was in Mar-a-Lago recently.
Yeah,
He wasn't at the inauguration.
To the new boss. Yeah. Other than that, it's just some nice things. We've got some new Assassin's Creed Shadows exploration gameplay.
I can't say anything about it till Thursday, but Ubisoft wanted to come out with it early, which is why I didn't bother doing a comprehensive preview.
Yeah.
My preview will be 5 minutes of me giving impressions of playing the game and then 90 minutes of the game.
Yeah. 90 minutes. That's a chunky amount of time. 90 minutes. Lovely. But yes, one of the creators that's been looking at Assassin's Creed is a content creator named Jaw Raptor. He showcased a bunch of new features and stuff a little bit earlier than everybody else.
Yeah, that's why I don't bother doing with Ubisoft, especially. Like, hey, you can do this preview, and then 95%
but we're going to get other people to do it before you
99% of us can't do anything until Thursday, and a full week ahead of time, they put out a blog post detailing everything that you would talk about and let a couple special people get to talk about it early. Just rendering all your previews pretty worthless.
Yeah, like no one's going to. Yeah, it's frustrating.
But people will want
nice amount of gameplay.
I put gameplay, no commentary. That is what people search. So if you're wondering why I did that, that's why.
There you go. But yes, there's lots of detail into the game's exploration gameplay with major changes and additions designed to foster a unique sense of discovery as you roam the world.
Yeah, you are
Director
not.
Charles-
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, you are not being shown a waypoint and running to it anymore.
Nice.
So you could turn that off before, but by default, in general, it asked you, do you want waypoints? Do you not want them? And everyone just say, I want them. And now it is very much focused on, according to their blog posts and what everyone else has already shown, you have to go around the map and actually find stuff. And it'll give you clues on where things are, and you can spend like currency of scouts to try and help you find something more quickly if you want. But yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, director Charles Benoit says we don't want to hold the player's hand too much with icons and markers. We wanted to craft an open world where information was key and would become a form of reward. This made sense in the context of playing a shinobi and fighting for information. In Shadows, information is something you need to look for and earn, whether through your spies, non-player character encounters, or through your own eyes. In short, we want players to discover all our cool secrets on their own terms through investigation, their own spy network, or by just simply observing the world.
in a world.
This looks great.
It looks like an absolutely massive game, I will say, John. Everything I've seen of it, it looks huge. So if you were, I don't know what the Golden Path could be 15, 25 hours. Who knows? But if you want to, this definitely is feeling like a world you can get lost in.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Ubisoft, with their own games that aren't licensed, are typically fairly generous.
Yeah,
So,
even with the licensed
fingers
ones, they
crossed.
were after launch. Before launch, they weren't, but after launch, they were. So even if we only get one for this for review, we will see how things are working on timing-wise, who ends up doing it. But no matter what, we should be pretty good to get as many people talking about it on the site at some point as possible.
Yeah. Thanks, Ubisoft, for my Star Wars Outlaws code. I really enjoyed it.
No, we are not having Dreamcast Guy. Ever. I will say that confidently.
No. I'd rather die. Last up, there's also some gameplay available on the interwebs of new Chinese action game Wuchang Fallen Feathers, which I think, keep me honest here, is a Game Pass title
Yep.
as well. Yeah. I mean, Wuchang, Wukong, like, this looks fun.
Wu-Tang, Onyx.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a so this is a Souls-like in that it's got
okay,
it's
I'm out.
they're all, but it's the more Sekiro action focused one and not defensive. Like you're swinging away like it's signs, and you're next to a glass of water and there's an alien over there. Like it's very offensive focused. Looks good. Lots of badonkadonk from the main character being shown off all the time because of course. But yeah, super actiony one. Not a I don't like the plotting, rolling around type of thing. Like she's quick. She's jumping between weapons. Bosses look cool. It's a very pretty game. But it's fast. It's not slow. So if you're like, I don't like Souls, like this definitely feels more in the Black Myth Wukong action focus and not in the very slow, methodical, take your time or else you just instantly die Souls-like category. Like she tears through bosses pretty quick when you're good.
Basher, mate. That's what I want. I want to just bash buttons.
I do see people keep saying we need more guests on. We've actually had a lot of guests on lately. We're looking to have less guests on the main podcast and more try and get like higher tier guests for the Patreon only show.
Yeah, we're planning on introducing this year a kind of like Xbox era podcast uncut, where we have like an hour of
no clothes
just
on
chit-chat with a guest. So yeah, we're working on it, folks. It's hard. The interviews are the hardest thing because they take a long time to organize and make sure people are ready, and
it will be easy.
Time zones.
It's a lot easier. Like when we had Phil, we had to record at a time that worked for him. For other people, I think it'll end up being the same for what we're going for. That Saturday night, give up your entire night is rough. But if we're recording, myself, John, and Nick, we can figure it out and make it a lot easier. And also, this woman has an enormous ass. Because, of course.
I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. There's also, there's one attack that just constantly knocks people down so you can do a punishing move. And this looks satisfying.
Yeah, it looks really pretty. I will say that.
And also, like,
again, it's not for me.
Yeah, this is early 1080p, like PC build streaming. So I'm really curious what it's going to look like in full 4K running. Oh, we have no idea how difficult this game will be, Becca. This is just came out of nowhere footage from China of a build that showed up on YouTube, and people are like, wow, this looks really good, and it's coming to Game Pass. It might be coming sooner than later, because...
This looks good enough.
Yeah,
this looks great.
Because Game Pass obviously doesn't have enough. They need to find even more.
Of course.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this one. I wanted to do.
I mean, that was cool.
yeah.
The guy just like
Oh,
drops
yeah.
his fire attack and the whole field burns away.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Yeah, they've got
That was some
this
cool
game's
shit.
got some real cool looking stuff in it. That first Berserker Kazan, I played the demo on stream. A lot of people watched it, which is always neat. Ursel will probably end up doing that one because I'll be doing Atomfall at the exact same time. But there's a lot of Souls likes that are changing up the formula enough that I really enjoy them. Like Liza P is a great, more Sekiro like because of the focus on parrying, and then Kazan's more like that. I do like the more actiony, less dodge rolly focus that a lot of these titles are taking because like From has their take on the third person action RPG, and they do it incredibly well with a lot of that being tied to how good their level design is. They just become masters at it after many decades. Like people think From almost kind of started with Demon Souls, and it's like no, they had like 90 games before that or something, some ridiculous
Yeah,
amount. Maybe 30, but
made
they had a
Ninja
lot.
Blade.
Yeah, they made a ton of Xbox and PlayStation exclusives before that. They used to kind of be almost 4 higher, and I think they got tired of that after Demon Souls took off and really started focusing on multiplats outside of Bloodborne. So
Yeah. I love that. Oh, there's a sexy panda.
Mhm.
I love this comment from Dexter H. Seeing games like this in Game Pass is what makes me annoyed when media say that Game Pass isn't worth it. Normal consumers don't get codes for every game. That's right. Like, it's got to be said. We don't get codes for every game. Like, we're way more involved than we were even a year ago now.
I don't
but
have to work as
we-
hard. That used to be half
Yeah,
my
yeah,
job
we
was
used to
chasing
beg-
down codes.
And you know it can't be overstated. Like, you know, we'll get one code and we'll have to decide who in the team is going to do it, but then you look on the other side of the fence, and I'm not going to name outlets, but the big ones, here's 10 codes for all your entire team so they can talk about it on shows and stuff. You know, we want to be in that world where we can, you know, if Jesse's played the game, that we're all like, yeah, we've been playing this, we can all have a discussion about it. I mean, granted, Nick would never play most of them, but we want to be in that world, but it just takes a while for us to kind of get big enough. But with all the support that everybody's been giving us over the last 5-6 years now, we'll get there. We're confident of it. We believe
If
in
you
it.
like our reviews and you want to see them keep happening and maybe even grow, then it would be the Patreon is the only reason we get to do them because they don't make any money. That's why you see a lot of sites don't like IGN and them. They pick and choose, and even they can make money, and even they are real picky on what they do because they got to pay people, and then the review is not going to make a ton most of the time. So we are only able to do so many because of our wonderful patrons. So thank you.
Last piece of news now to see things out. Breaking news from Microsoft and the Xbox team. They have released the details on their final, according to Stein on Twitter, their final Pulse Cipher Edition special controller. This is in a nice translucent red where you can see all the insides. I got my son the kind of white silver one for Christmas. He loves it.
Someone had to
this one's red.
spoil this one, of course, because nothing can just ever be announced.
No, you can't just have a control. Well, Microsoft do controller announcements all the bloody time. So
I know.
it's not
Imagine
that big
if
of a
they
surprise.
sent you this controller so you could check it out.
Maybe one day Microsoft will send us stuff because
They like us
I
more.
wouldn't keep half of it, and we just give it away to the Patreon community. Because
Well, you could
of
sell it
course.
for a new phone,
Oh, my
one whole
phone.
controller. But
I
yeah,
haven't thought about my poor broken phone in like an hour.
No,
At the
yeah,
moment, I'm having
sorry.
to run it digitally through my Windows PC.
Mhm.
So that I
It
can,
works
like-
pretty well.
It's fine.
It's-
like I will
yeah.
survive.
Yeah.
And I get a new toy basically at the end of the week, hopefully. I'm dreading that Samsung will announce their lineup tomorrow, but then they'll be like, available for pre-order from like May, and I'll be like, shit. I'm hoping that it's like available for order now, and I can
No.
just go on their store
Nope.
and just drop some pennies.
Probably not.
Frustrating.
But I did give you their contact.
yeah, I know.
Literally, you
Back-
have the angle. You can just say, hey, I will use this to try out Game Pass and games, and I will cover it on our site, and I'll talk about it on our podcast. You get an article and video. I'll link to blah, 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 and they'll go like, cool. If one person buys it, it pays for the phone we gave you, sure, most of the time. So
yeah.
this looks nice.
Sure.
The I have enough controllers. There's another one coming today from God, who was it? Shit, I can't remember. One of the Chinese manufacturers who does the ones with all the Hall effect. God damn it. I feel bad. I can't remember.
Game Sir.
Game Sir. That's it. Thank you. Yeah,
Oh, look at me.
Yeah, I got one coming from Game Sir today, just to check out. It's kind of similar, I think, to this Power A one. That's like all Hall effecty and whatnot, but it looks different. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk about it. But yeah, there's companies like sending their stuff out, so you'll talk about it. So you just got to get over the embarrassment of asking, because it is for work.
It's cringy. I hate doing it. But yes, there you go. That's all the news, friends.
Oh, the check.
We we hope you've enjoyed this succinct hour-long show of news stuffs. Now, we will be back on Thursday at the much later time. Busy day. Much later time. Why? Because it's the Xbox Developer Direct. We'll be live with both of us, Ursel, and of course, special Nick, who's waking up nice and early.
Look, see, I've already made it. If Nick doesn't wake up, we've got 3. And if Nick does wake up, we've got 4. And then we go over to the co-stream setup where you can just see my nice little background. It'll be fun. I'm quite looking forward to it. It's all set.
It's all ready to rock and roll. So we'll be live streaming and reacting to the Dev Direct. And then straight after that, you can expect discussion on whatever the surprises they have in store and everything they've shown.
And then probably a little bit of news if there's anything very big.
Yeah.
It'll be headlines, but, you know.
We'll be on the ball. So stay tuned. As always, as mentioned, we'll be back again on Saturday for the Mainline Xbox Era podcast with the one and only Parris Lily. And we're looking forward to it. So be good to each other. Remember that this is just video games and it really isn't that serious. And we will see you on Thursday for the Developer Direct. We're looking forward to it. We hope you are too. Stay tuned for some surprises, I suppose.
Seems like
Until then, dear friends, don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you soon. Ciao for now.
Paranoia is in bloom. The PR transmissions will resume. They'll try to push drugs that keep us all down, and hope that we will never see the truth around. So another promise, another seed, another package lie to keep us trapped in greed. And all the green belts wrapped around our minds, an endless red tape to keep the truth confined. So another force us. They'll stop degrading us. They will not control us, and we will be victorious. So interchanging mind control. Come let the revolution take its toll. If you could flick a switch and open your third eye, you'd see that we should never be afraid to die. So rise up and take the power back. It's time the fat cats had a heart attack. You know that their time's coming to an end. We have to unify.